Hello students, today we are going to do The Merchant of Venice Act 1 Scene 1. The opening scene succeeds in providing the necessary information of the play. Shakespeare introduces the element of the plot, characters, and the atmosphere of the play. Antonio is a rich merchant who is in a sad mood and his friends are unable to amuse him. His dearest friend Bassanio tells him of his desire to win Portia, a rich heiress of Belmont. He asks Antonio to lend him money to present himself as a worthy suitor at Belmont. Antonio has no ready cash as his fortunes are tied up with his ships at sea, so he advises Bassanio to use his name to get credit in Venice. Thus, the love story of Bassanio and Portia is linked to the bond story of Antonio and Shylock. The scene opens in Venice, a street. There is Antonio, Salario, and Salanio present there. Look at the first line. In sooth, I know not why I am so sad. In sooth here means truly. I know not. He's saying, I don't know why I'm so sad. It wearies me. It wearies me means I'm tired of it. You say it wearies you. You say you are tired of it. But how I caught it, found it, or came by it. He's saying, I don't know how I caught it, I found it, or I came by it. Came by it is got it. What stuff it is made of. He's saying, I don't know what it consists of. Whereof it is born. Whereof it is born means what is the origin of it. I am to learn. I am to learn means I am yet to learn. I don't know. And such a want with sadness makes of me that I have much ado to know myself. Want with here means a dull, absent-minded fellow, and ado means trouble. So here, Antonio is trying to say, the sadness makes me so dull that I'm having trouble in recognizing myself. So Salarino says, your mind is tossing on the ocean. That means your mind is away on the ocean. There where your groceries with portly sail. There where your agrosis are large merchant ships with portly sails, which are sailing very dignified. They're sailing in a dignified way, like seigneurs. Seigneurs here means gentlemen, and rich burghers. Rich burghers on the sea. Burghers means important citizens. So he says that they are sailing like seigneurs, gentlemen, and burghers that are important citizens on the flood. Flood here means the sea. Or as it were, the pageants of the sea. Pageant here means beauty contest. So he says they are sailing on the sea like there is a exhibitions, processions going on to overpeer the petty traffickers. Overpeer here means look over the heads of. And the petty traffickers are the small commercial boats. So he means the big boats look over the heads of the small commercial boats. That courtesy to them do them reverence. That means that move up and down as if they are paying respect. They bow in respect as they fly by them with their woven wings. As they is referred to the big ships. Fly by them here are the smaller ships with their woven wings. Woven wings are the canvas sails. Salanio says, believe me, sir, had I such venture fought. That means he says here that if he had such ventures, that is commercial operations abroad, the better part of my affections would be with my hopes abroad. He says I would definitely be concerned about the commercial operations that are going on abroad. I should be still plucking the grass to know where sits the wind, holding up a blade of grass to figure out the direction of the wind. Now peering in maps for ports and piers and roads. Pier here means to look carefully. Ports here means harbors and roads are the channels. So he says he would be looking for everything that is giving him a scare that might bring danger to his ships and every object that might make me fear misfortune to my venture. ventures, out of doubt, without any doubt, that means certainly, would make me sad. He's saying even if I had such ships abroad like you have right now, same way I would also be sad thinking about those ships. Here Salarino says, my wind cooling my broth would blow me than an ague, when I thought what harm a wind too great at sea might do. Here he says, I would get upset blowing on my hot soup because it would make me think of what a strong wind at sea could do to my ships. Then he says, I should not see the sandy hourglass run, but I should think of shallows and of flats and see my wealthy Andrew dropped into sand, wailing a high top lower than her ribs to kiss her burial. Here he says, if I saw the sand run in the hourglass. Now, what is an hourglass? It's an apparatus used to show the time. It was used before watches were used. I would think of flat shallows where my ship the Andrew flats and see my wealthy Andrews dropped in the sand, wailing her high top lower than her ribs to kiss her burial. He says, every time I glanced at the sand in an hourglass is an apparatus used to see the time. That is before the watches were used. So he says, I would imagine my ships wrecked on the sandbars, flats, and see my wealthy Andrews dropped in the sand, wailing her high top lower than her ribs to kiss her burial. He says, every time I glanced at the sand in an hourglass is an apparatus used to see the time. That is before the watches were used. So he says, I would imagine my ships wrecked on the sandbars. The danger of the ship getting stuck in the sand where the water is not sufficiently deep for a ship to sail over it smoothly. The richly laden ship might get stuck in sand. The ship might overturn with its top sails, plunging low into the water and getting buried in the sand. Then Salario says, should I go to church and see the holy edifice of stone, and not bethink me straight of dangerous rock, which, touching but my gentle vessel's side, would scatter all her spices on the stream and rope the roaring waters with my sails, and in a word, but even now worth this and worth nothing. This means that if he goes to church seeing the stone building, he would be reminded of the rocks of the sea, which might touch the sides of his ship and make hole in them, and then all his richest spices would be scattered in the ocean. Shall I have the thought to think on this, and shall I lack the thought that such a thing bechanced would make me sad? But tell not me, I know Antonio is sad to think upon his merchandise. By this he means, if I could have imagined this is about to happen, then should not I have imagined the grief that the disaster would cause? He says Antonio is sad because he is so worried about his cargo. Antonio says, believe me, no, I thank my fortune for it. My ventures are not in one bottom trusted, nor to one place, nor in my whole estate upon the fortune of this year. Therefore, my merchandise makes me not sad. Now here, Antonio is negating the idea that he's sad because of the ships. He says, thankfully, his financial situation is healthy, and he doesn't have all his money invested in one ship or one part of the world. If he doesn't do well this year, he will still be okay. So it's okay for him that his business is not going well. So that's not the reason he says he's sad. It will be continued in the next video. Thanks for watching. If you have understood, like my video. Subscribe to my channel for latest updates.